Brajajanaranjana Yasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamunatiravanachari Jamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Nitai Gariba, Hariba, Hariba, Bolo Hariba. Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyam Astota Stat Sissiman Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhamsa Parivrajakacharyam Astota Stat Sissiman Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavina Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Si Kahau Si Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Si Advaita Gadadhara Si Vasadi Si Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Asisi Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. So Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Si Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Si Jagannapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya Ki Jai. Samanta Tulsi Devi Bhakta Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the Son of the devotees. All glories to the Son of the devotees. All glories to the Son of the devotees. All glories to the Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudirat Nasa Payis Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavaiti Naistiki. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Canto 4, Chapter 12, text, which is text there? Text 6. The title of the chapter is Dhruva Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead. Okay. Bhaja Swabhajan Niyangrim Abhavaya Bhavachidam Yuktam Virahitam Saktya Gunamayatma Mayaya Bhajasva Bhajani Yangrim Abhavaya Bhavachidam Yuktam Virahitam Saktya Gunamayatma Mayaya Bhajasva Bhajani Yangrim Abhavaya Bhavachidam Yuktam Virahitam Saktya Gunamayatma Mayaya. Can someone try? Ladies more. Thank you. Word for word translation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace ISKCON Acharya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please kindly respond to repeat. Bhajaswa. Engage in devotional service. Bhajaniya. Worthy to be worshipped. Angrim unto him whose lotus feet. Abhavaya, for deliverance from material existence. Bhavachidam, who cuts the knot of material entanglement. Yuktam, attached. Virahitam, aloof. Saktya, to his potency. Gunamaya, consisting of the modes of material nature. Atmamaya, by his inconceivable potency. Translation, engage yourself fully, therefore, in devotional service of the Lord, for only He can deliver us from this entanglement of materialistic existence. Although the Lord is attached to His material potency, He is aloof from our activities. Everything in this material world is happening by the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please kindly responsibly repeat. Engage yourself fully. Therefore, in devotional service of the Lord. For only He can deliver us from this entanglement of materialistic existence. Although the Lord is attached to His material potency, He is aloof from her activities. Everything in this material world is happening by the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. Please listen attentively. In continuation of the previous verse, it is specifically mentioned here that Dhruva Maharaj should engage himself in devotional service. Devotional service cannot be rendered through the impersonal Brahman feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whenever the word Bhajaswa appears, meaning engage yourself in devotional service, there must be a servant, service, and served, and deserved. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is served. The mode of activities to please Him is called service. And one who renders such service is called the servant. Another significant feature in this verse is that only the Lord and no one else is to be served. That is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Mam ekam Tanam Vraja. That is, there is no need to serve the demigods, who are just like the hands and legs of the Supreme Lord. When the Supreme Lord is served, the hands and legs of the Supreme Lord are automatically served. There is no need of separate service. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 12:7, Teshamaham samudata mritu samsara sagarat. It means that the Lord, in order to show specific favor to the devotee, directs the devotee from within, the super soul, in such a way that ultimately he is delivered from the entanglement of material existence. No one but the Supreme Lord can help the living entity be delivered from the entanglement of this material world. The material world is a manifestation of one of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's varieties of potencies, Parasya Shakti, Vivedaiva Sruyate. This material world is one of the Lord's potencies. As such, as much as heat and light are potencies of fire. The material energy is not different from the Supreme Godhead, but at the same time, he has nothing to do with the material energy. The living entity who is of the marginal energy is entrapped by the material energy on the basis of his desires to lord it over the material world. The Lord is aloof from this, but when this same living entity engages himself or herself in devotional service, what again? In devotional service of the Lord, then he becomes attached to this service. This situation is called yuktam. For devotees, the Lord is present even in the material energy. This is the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Material energy acts in the three modes of material qualities, which produce the action and reaction of material existence. Those who are not devotees become involved in such activities, whereas devotees who are dovetailed with the Supreme Personality of Godhead are freed from such action and reaction of the material energy. The Lord is therefore described herewith as Baba Chidam, one who can give deliverance from the entanglement of material existence. Om Gyana Tmirandasya, Gyananjana Salakaya, Saksur Malitam, Yena Tasmai, Si Gurube Maha, Sachetaya Mano Vistam, Stafetam Yena Bhutale, Swayam Rupam Kadamayam, Dadati Swa Padantikam, Vandiham, Si Gurum, Si Utapadakamalam, Si Gurum, Vaishnavam Cha, Sirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitamtam Sajiva Sadveta Sarvaduta Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitam Cha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha, Gopiga Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namaste. Tapta Kanchana Gorange, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi, Panamam, Haripriya. Vanchakalpataribhyacha Kripasannabhyacha Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Sula Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Picharine Nevasesta Sanyavada Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we have read, we have had the text, we have also had the purport. We listened to the purport. It's all about Dhruva being instructed to take to devotional service. Dhruva left home at a very tender age. What was his age when he left home to the forest? 5 years. Prahlad says devotional service should begin from the Kumara age. That means age 5. That's what Dhruva did. Kumara Achara Pragya, that's the statement of Prahlad. He said he should start from tender age. Why? Because when the child is molded in devotional service at a tender age, they become grounded in devotional culture. And they are able to integrate devotional service, devotional sadhana in their professional activities. Integration could always be very challenging. That's why people shy away from calculus, and the foundation of calculus is integration in mathematics. People don't like mathematics and people don't like calculus. Because the very foundation of calculus is integration. The Upanishads also mentions about integration. The words of the Upanishads specifically stipulates that we should cultivate devotional sadhana and professional development side by side. The exact words in the translation is science and nations. Devotional service and work side by side. If one side is missing, your life is not going to be balanced. You find a gap in your life. In research, we have to develop at some thesis, you have to find a gap in the literature. And then you fill that gap. So far there is a gap in your life. There's a missing link. You can't be happy. And therefore, this devotional life is meant for everybody. You are a professional, you are schooling, you are doing nothing, you don't have a job, you're dependent on government, whatever. No one is excluded. You don't even need a PhD to come and do devotional service. You don't even need a degree to come and do devotional service. I'm 5 years old. How many degrees did Dhruva have? How many did he have? Even Prahlad. And so, and the good news is that this is not like in the then ages where you have to perform devotion to Krishna or to Narayan or to Vasudev by performing, Ashwamedha sacrifices. One horse, how much does one horse cost in Germany? Do you have any idea? Because horses could be very expensive. In fact, it's a luxury. So it's meant for only the rich. In those days, the devotional culture was meant for only the rich. Unfortunately, yeah. Because all sacrifices, before you please the Lord, you have to perform those type of sacrifices. But in the 21st century, which is subsumed in Kali Yuga, we don't need even wealth to do anything. Krishna said, Patram Puspam Phalam Tuya, Yo Me Bhakcha, Prayanshuti. It's just, even a leaf, you go outside there, you'll see leaves all over the place. What is our excuse? You can always get water anywhere. So, fruits, you can pick fruits anywhere. You just go into the forest, you see fruits anywhere. So Krishna didn't say, come on, perform some, ask for me to sacrifice for me. He said, just offer these simple things to me. What the ingredient you have to put inside this offering is your love. That's all. That's love. Krishna also wants our love. Take for instance, if someone tells you, I asked, somebody was married, or somebody had a child with one guy, a lady has a child with one guy. So it happened that she got close to me, so I asked her, see, why you get entangled with this guy? And she frankly told me that, you know what she told me? You know what? You want to know what she told me? She said, this was the only guy in her life that told her, I love you. That is what love is. Just by uttering that word, people, you change the modus vivendi of people. Oh yeah. That is again another lived experience. I'm not talking about Purana. You will say, 5,000 years ago or many millions of years ago. No. So Krishna wants that love. Somebody just told somebody, I love you. That's it. So who have children here? I have a child or 2 kids. Raise up your hand. You have kids? Okay. When was the last time you told your kid, I love you? When was the last time you told your kid, I love you? Yesterday. Very good. You're doing a good job. You do that every day, okay? That's what Krishna wants from us. He wants us to offer simple things with the ingredient of love. So here Dhruva is being asked to perform devotional service. Engage fully in devotional service. Dhruva, he was looking for ways to fulfill his material desires. And so his mother acted as his Vatma Pradashaka Guru, the first spiritual instructor, the person who gives you or who helps you with initial spiritual instructions is called the Vatma Pradashaka Guru. So sometimes, we find the case of Dhruva. He was in a trouble, so he went to meet his mother. What to do, Mom? What to do about this? Mom, what to do? Mom said, hey, my lovely boy, keep calm. You know what? People have problems, they seek for help from Vishnu. Where can I get Vishnu? Oh, sages meditate on him. They go to the forest to meditate on him. Dhruva, one thing we find in his life, he was a desperado. He was desperate.
those who are desperate about achieving their goals, they ultimately get it. Because the Lord also reciprocates. And therefore, we need to be desperate in our devotional life too. We need to be very determined like Dhruva. There were obstructions when Dhruva was going to the forest. Even Nara suggested to him, "You're a small boy, go back home." He said, "If you're not able to help me, please leave me alone." If you're not able to help me, leave me alone. I'm not going anywhere. Determination. Focused determination. It was focused on his goal. If you don't know your goal, what are you going to focus on? So our goal is Krishna Prema Pumato Mohan, to attain pure love for Krishna. In this life, not next life. In this life. In this what? This life. So don't procrastinate. Procrastination is the thief of time. Procrastination is meant for lazy people. We should not be spiritually lazy. We should think someone else is becoming a pure soul, I will also. And it's very simple in Kali Yuga, You don't need to take up a sannyas dress to become, to please Krishna. The associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, none of them was the Swami. You find any Swami among the Panchatattwas? Huh? You find any Swami? No. So, it's a matter of giving your love to Krishna. Devotional service, essence of devotional service, we call it loving devotional service. We render the service with love, not with grudges. Rendering the service with love means we know what we are doing. We know the purpose of our activities. And therefore it's so important. And you see, the devotional service is being brought down to rock bottom. Very simplified. So simplified. Dhruva left everything and went to the forest. Sages of yore, they will have to abandon all their material activities and go into the forest to perform meditation. This Kali Yuga, in the 21st century, that is not required. In fact, Lord Chaitanya was touring in South India, and a Brahmin approached him. He wants to abandon his family to follow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, no need for that. You go make your family Krishna conscious. Oh yeah. So we don't have anyone to blame this time around. Nobody. We can't pass the buck to anybody. We are responsible. If we take to devotional life, like the instructions being given to Dhruva, then the purpose of our life is being fulfilled. Otherwise, the purpose of life is not fulfilled. Sometimes, people wonder why people are dedicating their lives to Krishna. It's just this higher understanding that anything out there, there is nothing there. It's like chewing the chew. Chewing the chewed. If you have sugar canes here in Germany? Yeah, so if you pick up a sugar cane, You chew the sugar cane, you throw the shaft away, and someone else pick the shaft and then start chewing. It's called chewing the chewed. There's no juice there. The juice has been taken by someone else. So we try to puna chavita charvanana. We try to chew the chewed. Materialistic existence means trying to chew the chewed. Oh yeah. We've been doing that for many, many lifetimes. We've been chewing the chewed. For many lifetimes, we've been doing it. Prabhupada was giving initiation to somebody I think in America, and he gave him his name, and he said, Prabhupada said, give only this life to Krishna. Oh yeah. And how do we give our lives to Krishna? You just have to integrate devotional life with whatever you are doing. If you're walking, you arrange your life in such a way that you get up early in the morning. In fact, first you have to go to bed early so that you can get up early in the morning to use the Brahma Muhurta hours for sadhana, for chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's not something so demanding. It's a simple thing. You're not required to give up your job. You're not required to give up your wife or give up your husband. Not Chaitanya never said that. He never encouraged that. So what is our excuse now? What is our excuse? So human life, we are endowed with high intelligence. Because if you look at the life of the primates and other lower animals, they are doing all the things we are doing. They're doing everything. In some cases, they do it better than we do. Oh, yeah. So, the exclusive function of our endowments with high intelligence is to be able to differentiate between matter and spirit and engage in devotional service to Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, this service, they served. Service, the object of service, and the servant. So the devotee is the servant. If you align in these three settings, the service, that is devotional service, the service, and the servant, your life will be perfect at the end, before the end of this existence. If you just do this every day, get it up early to chant Krishna's name, that is the primal worship in the age of Kali. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, no one can say that they were not told. Devotees are distributing books. We are also preaching on social media. Doing several things to reach out to the conditioned souls. Devotees are going out on Harinam. I remember in those days when we joined, when we were younger, we'll go out on Harinam every day from Monday to Saturday. Only on Sunday because of Sunday program. Only on Sunday we don't go. You know what time we leave? Every day after Mangarati, we do the cleaning of the temple, and then will live. Come back in the evening. Every day. If you survive, you can be a hero anywhere in the world. So, yeah, devotees are special people, so we should recognize that. I mean, the nectar of devotion, I was just reading the other day, and Prabhupada was mentioning that no one comes to devotional service by an accident, by chance. Those who come to devotional service were engaged in devotional service in the previous life. They didn't perfect it. Krishna gives them another chance. So it's up to us. We want to come back again and continue. It's okay. No problem. We want to break this cycle of birth and death. Do it. The word here is engage yourself fully. You don't want to come back again and, continue with this cycle of birth and death. Then, this is for you. Engage yourself fully. That's the topic sentence. In academia, the first sentence of an essay is called topic sentence. That first sentence should give you an idea of if even it's a 300-page text, the first sentence will just give you an in-depth idea of what the content is all about. The first sentence will capture the title of that thesis. And the first sentence, this is sometimes, people don't take cognition of these very fundamental principles in writing. And they use, this is very, very popular with yellow journalism. They say one thing as the title of their write-up, and then when you go to read it, it's completely different from they put some catching title to attract you or something. When you go to read, they're talking something else. That's a violation of academic integrity. So, here, Dhruva is being requested to engage fully in devotional service. Are we ready to engage fully in devotional service? Or we want to procrastinate? When I get old, then I will do it. Sometimes people want to take to devotional service. I just got a mail from, listen. Sometimes the devotees who are performing devotional service without any challenges from outsiders or from their family members, they don't know what it means. I got a mail from through my website. My personal assistant in Washington, in New York, forwarded a mail to me. And in the mail, this young man is in a university. He said he's been practicing Krishna consciousness, but the parents are completely against it. Why? Because he's not eating meat. And because he's chanting Krishna's names. So the parents, they hate this. How can you not eat meat? We've fed you with meat. And why must you be chanting Krishna's name in this house? You want to be saintly? And we can't give up anything. We are smoking, we are drinking, we are eating meat and fish, and every hogwash. And you want to become saintly. So this is something the child is doing, and they should appreciate. But no, even in the families, there is this envy. You're going too ethical. You want to be superior to us. Let's be on the same level. Let's go on with the sinful activities on the same level. Where are you going? Why in a hurry? Life that's a long way to go. This is the mindset. If those things don't happen, you think that people love you. Oh yeah. If you don't see that even people are above 18 years and they cannot exercise their choice, the freedom of choice of religious practice. This is this material world. So Dhruva, he was very lucky. His mother was very helpful to him, directed him, worship Lord Krishna. Where can I find him? People do that in the forest. And he was very, very determined. Determination is one of those keys to expedited devotional progress. We should be firm, fixated on our goals. So the Lord is mentioned in this text, material energy. This is energy. There are three major energies. There are the Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga, and Tatastha. Antaranga is the spiritual energy. Bahiranga is the external energy, material energy that is being described in this text. And Tatastha Shakti is the jiva. The jiva is marginal. We can be overwhelmed by the material energy, or we can be under the protection of the spiritual energy. We can choose devotional life, or we can choose devotional material energy. They are all Krishna's energy, no problem. The results are different. So we should understand that we're not just born into this world for nothing. There is a purpose to life. And that purpose to life is Krishna Prema Pumato Mohan. If you don't prosecute that very purpose to achieve your goal, you are missing out. And you have to come back again. Any comments or questions? Yes. Okay.
You said about procrastination
Uh-huh.
and determination also.
Sure.
And sometimes it is difficult for me, and in Krishna consciousness we may have so many projects, so many ideas, so many activities we can be engaged in, either in service or in sadhana. Thank you. Different projects and ideas, and sometimes we have to procrastinate something, and it's difficult to set the priority. So how do we get the intelligence? How do we know where to set our determination for now, and how to put something aside for now?
Yeah. See, we have our temple services, waking up to chant japa. That we must do. Coming to the program, we should endeavor to do. Coming to the classes. Nasta prayesu abadrisu nitya bhagavata sevaya. It purifies the heart. It makes devotional life easy. It helps to pulverize the material consciousness in us. So there are things that are part of our routine set down by Prabhupada. If we follow those things, we will quickly become purified. In other words, when it is time for class or time for Mangarati, we shouldn't use that time for washing our clothes. Because the whole day is there. We have to set our priorities in such ways that the temple schedule takes upper hand. If we have to go on Sankirtan, we also put that as our next the level of action after taking prasadam. So priorities are already there, already been set down by Prabhupada for us. Going to bed early, waking up early to do your sadhana, and when you do these things promptly, you will be able to also have sufficient time to read. When we join, 1 hour in the morning is used for reading, whether you like it or not. You live in a temple, you must read. You want to become a full-time preacher, a priest, you must read. Otherwise, what are you going to share with people? 1 hour. But we wake up at 3 o'clock. So, if you like, hang around in the night and go to bed at 12, you must wake up at 3 o'clock. You're living in the temple? No, you must wake up at 3 o'clock. Temple commander will ring the bell. You come to different rooms, ashrams, and check who is still sleeping and wake you up personally. If you cannot cope with that, stay at home and come visit. So it was structured in such a way that the priorities were already set down by the management. Now within those structured systems, you can also set your priorities. I will find time to be able to read Bhagavad Gita every day. I give 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever. We do have the time. But you know what? The modern days, in the 21st century, you know the greatest Maya now? Huh? Huh? No. For the devotee, what is the greatest Maya for us? Eh? Yeah. It's not just for devotees. It's for everybody. Because I've seen books written by some professors on how to become freed from the entanglement of the internet, smartphones. For some people, the smartphone becomes their deity. First thing they wake up, they pay obeisance to their deity. First thing they wake up. Yeah, that's what they do most. That is a form of worship, adoration. What you said as your priority is this smartphone. So, and I've seen this, and I talk this all the time. I didn't see this much here, but I've seen this even in India, even in Mayapur or Vrindavan. Devotees are chanting. Listen, devotees are chanting. These are senior people. They're chanting, and this smartphone is by, it's by them. And then if the call comes in, and then they stop the chanting. Hello? This is Krishna abuse of Krishna. This is abuse. Can you imagine? And please, let's be clear. I don't know the conditions in Germany. But in America, you are with someone on the phone and they drop. It's like there is an abuse, an emotional abuse in communication. If they drop, they stop this conversation abruptly. It's like they're saying, hey, bullshit, get out of my life. So people understand. Except you call them back to say maybe your battery run down or whatever, or you have created a real big social problem in your relationship with that person. But we do that all the time with Krishna. We do that. I've seen people do that. I remember one temple, I couldn't contain it. This senior devotee, my friend, he was having his phone in his pocket, and during japa, the phone rang, and he picked up and he was talking. He went by the corner and was talking. So I couldn't contain myself. I just went to him and tell him that, listen, if you're not my friend, I don't really give a damn. I don't care. You see, when people see you, you're close to me, and you're doing this, what is the example you are setting for these younger devotees who are coming? So I've seen that. I'm talking out of my own experience. I didn't see that much here. I see all of you sit down and you're just busy chanting. That is rare. That culture, poker. Because we should give quality time to Krishna. So you're prioritizing Krishna. This is very good. And the environment where you're staying is a temple. And believe it or not, where you are staying is impacting positively on your devotional practice. A German psychologist, Professor Lewin, in 1938, he developed the field theory. A German psychologist, his name is Lewin. He developed the field theory in 1938. And the field theory stipulates that the environment impacts on our behavior. So here, the temple, the Simhachalam Dam here, the environment is completely different from the train station in Poso. The vibration is completely different. Oh yeah. So when we are living in this type of environment, that is a high spiritual priority. Because believe it, you may not understand or you may not even perceive it, but there's a lot that you gain by just hanging out in this environment and practicing your devotional life. So regarding priorities, you have to see what is most important to you and set that on the top of your priority list. Sometimes some things are not so important. Take, for instance, checking your phone, your messages, or making a call. It might not be so important at 4:30 or 3 o'clock when you wake up. It's not required. Yeah. So we have to see what is most important. Priorities implies what is most important to me to do. Then you set the scale like that. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yes.
You were speaking about determination and going back to Godhead or achieving love of God with life. And if we think that it's too big, I cannot do it, maybe I committed some offenses, maybe I feel I cannot really grasp the goal, even I don't understand what it means practically. And we think that, yeah, what to do? I can continue, but I don't know where I will go. Are we cheating ourselves? Does it mean that we're hypocrites because we are simply not sincere? Or is it actually possible that sometimes we may come into situations that, okay, we cannot do it, and then what to do?
Yeah, that is why association is very important. Rupa Goswami mentions about having a confidant. A confidant is someone that you can share your supposedly secretive or things that you're not supposed to be telling the public, someone you have some trust in to be able to share.
Sometimes it doesn't even happen with the wife. Sometimes it doesn't happen with the husband. The person may have somebody else. And sometimes it doesn't happen with the father. It doesn't happen with the mother. It may have somebody else in their lives. I've encountered this a number of occasions when people come to tell me some stuff. Like some girls come to tell me some stuff, and I say, oh, but this is a pure woman affair stuff. Why don't you speak with your mom? And she says, no, she won't listen to me. She has no confidence in the mother. Their relationship is just official. Parent and child. In most parenting styles, that's what it ultimately leads to. They don't know how to change their gears, their parenting style, when the child comes of a particular age. And then it results that the parent does not become the confidant. So we need to have a confidant. We need to have someone in our lives that if we are facing some challenges, we can approach and share the challenge with the person. And they are in a position to help us, to clarify the ambiguities, to clarify the doubt, to help us to move forward. Anybody who in this movement is a special soul. Anybody who has come into this movement is a special soul. And therefore, it is important for us to have this understanding at our fingertips and see how we can explore utilizing this human form of life and the devotees, the environment at our disposal to grow in our devotional life. Yes, somebody may have a lackadaisical approach or weak with sadhana, but that notwithstanding, he or she can get the mercy of the devotees. Mahat Sevam Dwaramahu Vimukti. The gate of the spiritual world becomes wide open just by serving the great devotees. This is the secret. It doesn't require too much of intelligence. You don't need degrees to do that. You don't need degrees to do that. You don't need too much of expertise. It's a service attitude. We do serve, but if we dovetail our service attitude toward the devotees, why? Because according to Lord Krishna, the service to his devotees is more important than even service to him. So we have the tools at our disposal. We should be eager to do service to each other, to serve the devotees of the Lord. This is one of the shortest routes to attaining Krishna Prema Pumato Maha. So we have all the facilities. It's a matter of exploring and trying to understand what are the facilities in place. What are the structures that have been put in place for me to use in arousing my Krishna consciousness? What are the facilities, what are the structures put in place for my self-motivation? Devotees should understand one thing. The things that we do every day that will help us, motivate us, to make us enthusiastic in our devotional service. One of them is reading every day or hearing. If you can't read, hear, listen to Prabhupada's lectures. And do service. Don't miss out service. Not just service to the deities only, but service to the devotees. Because service to the devotees is as good as serving the Lord himself. In fact, more important than serving the Lord himself. It takes a lot of humility for someone to go and serve another person. Because we have this Ishwara above
that we think we are the controllers. But no, we are actually servants. And that is displayed by even the prime minister. What's the head of state in Germany? Huh? Yeah, prime minister or what? What is it? Even if you are the chancellor of Germany, you are serving. Oh yeah. Examine your life. They're serving the nation. At home, they are serving their family. Like menial servants. So, it's a matter of understanding that we have the structures. We have the facilities. We have the tools. Utilize those tools. And you realize that you are becoming more and more motivated and inspired in Krishna consciousness. You see, if we don't serve, we don't read, we don't attend the programs, we will not chant with a focused mindset. We'll be so much distracted when we chant. So all of these things are connected. And you're on the dam here, so ensure that you take advantage, attend the programs, do some service on the dam, serve the devotees, serve the Lord, and that will help to expedite the progress will help to accelerate your devotional progress. Yes.
Just because he said Prime Minister, I remember the quote from Sri Bhakti Maharaj. He said, being a leader means being the servant of everyone.
Yeah. The head of state, the chancellor, the prime minister, they are all servants. They're servants. They're servants. In fact, during the political campaigns, they tell so many things. How they're going to serve. Yeah. So we are servants. We serve. We should not think that is not something natural. It is natural that we serve. So when we serve the devotees, we will naturally become purified, because devotee is very, very dear to Krishna. All right, it's already past 9. Shall we adjourn this meeting?
We had a question there.
Okay. Yeah. No. Ask a question before we go. Ask. Come on.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for the class. In the beginning, it's mentioned in the purport that the Lord and His energy is non-different, but He's aloof from it. Mm-hmm. So I think I wanted to know more if you can elaborate on this point, because according to my understanding, for example, the sunlight and the sun, when you see the sunlight, you will directly understand that there is the sun. So how is Krishna and His energy non-different? In what sense? Is it in the potency or in the quality? Or
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very analytical question. Very good. Analytical mind. You're a critical and creative mind. So here, this insect that creates a web. What is it called? Spider. You know spider? Yeah. The spider makes a web that traps insects. And it comes very free to prey on the insect that is trapped. So, the spider, the web is the energy of the spider. It comes from his body. But he's aloof from it. He can fly away, okay, and then come back to see what is going on there. And there's some insects that have been trapped. So the last Bhayanaga Shakti is also like that. It's an emanation from the Lord, but the Lord is aloof from it. Just like the spider is aloof from the web. So it's still the Lord's energy, it's still the spider's energy, but the web is not the spider. It's the energy, it's the external energy of the spider. Similarly, the material energy or Bahiranga Shakti is the external energy of the Lord, and that energy is based on the interplay of the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. These three modes are vying for supremacy. And because they're vying for supremacy, the permutations of these three modes is what creates the different qualities. The different modus operandi, modes of operation, and modus vivendi, the manner of operation of all conditioned beings. So the Lord, basically, He's just like outside watching. Wow, that's amazing. That's great, okay? He sees all these things, but, He's aloof from it. He does not participate in the interplay. These energies generate different type of sub-energies, and there's interplay. Yeah. Thank you. All right, we can stop here because tomorrow again we're going to have a class. Okay, but tomorrow I'll give a class in the evening. Subal, I think tomorrow evening, right? Yeah, morning class. He's on the arrangement. I thought before I came, I told you that. Anyway, it's okay. So tomorrow we have a class too, so don't worry. Okay, don't worry. So tomorrow we have a class too. We can continue from there, okay? And I'll be here till Friday before going to some other place. So because the point is, I have to go take care of my deities, and I'm relocating to the other room this morning. All right. So thank you very, very much for participating in the Bhagavatam class. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yes, Maharaj.